What if I told you that the vitamin sitting in your cabinet right now, the one you've been told is a must-have for your bones, your heart, or your immunity, might actually be doing more harm than good? I know, it sounds like one of those sensationalist health headlines designed to grab your attention. But I'm not talking about a wellness trend or a fringe theory. I'm talking about a growing body of clinical research, including major studies published just in the early months of 2026, that is forcing doctors to issue a serious warning to seniors. For decades, we've operated under the more is better philosophy when it comes to supplements. But as our bodies change after 60, the way we process these concentrated nutrients changes too. And there is one specific vitamin that, when taken in the wrong form or the wrong dosage, is being linked to a staggering increase in health complications that most seniors never see coming. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which vitamin scientists are now flagging as a potential danger, the specific, hidden reason why your body can't handle it the way it used to, and most importantly, what the latest research suggests you should be doing instead to keep your body strong and your energy high. So stick with me. This one matters. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the place where I dig into the real science behind aging, longevity, and vitality, without the hype, without the scare tactics, and without trying to sell you a miracle cure. Today we're tackling a topic that genuinely shocked me when I started reviewing the latest geriatric nutrition data. We spend billions of dollars every year on vitamins, but for many seniors, those pills aren't just a waste of money, they're a biological burden. To understand why a vitamin can turn traitor after 60, look at the aging body's mechanics. Think of yourself as an engine running for 6 decades. As years pass, your liver and kidney filters don't flush excess nutrients efficiently. Meanwhile, gut absorption gates become more selective. This creates a dangerous paradox. You might be deficient in one area, but high-dose supplements cause toxic buildup in another. This reality affects millions of seniors, as supplement-related emergency room visits are steadily rising, creating a significant and often overlooked public health crisis for our older population. Let's get straight to the question you clicked on this video for. Which vitamin are doctors increasingly worried about? The answer might surprise you because it's often hailed as the king of vitamins for seniors: calcium. Now, before you run to your kitchen and throw your bottle away, let me be very clear about what the 2026 data is actually showing. We've been told for 50 years that if you want to avoid osteoporosis and broken hips, you need to load up on calcium. But the latest research from the American Heart Association and several European geriatric institutes suggests that high-dose calcium supplements, specifically those taken without their cofactors, are contributing to a silent epidemic of arterial calcification. Here is what is happening inside your body. When you take a concentrated calcium pill, your blood calcium levels spike rapidly. In a perfect world, that calcium would go straight to your bones. But in the aging body, especially if you are low in other key nutrients, that calcium doesn't know where to go. Instead of strengthening your skeleton, it begins to settle in your soft tissues. It settles in your kidneys, forming stones. It settles in your heart valves, making them stiff. And most dangerously, it settles in the walls of your arteries, contributing to hardening of the arteries, or atherosclerosis. A major study involving over 10,000 seniors found that those taking 1,000 milligrams or more of supplemental calcium daily had a 22% higher risk of developing heart disease compared to those getting their calcium from food. But the warning doesn't stop with calcium. There is another vitamin that is increasingly being flagged in 2026 as a hidden danger for seniors: vitamin A, specifically in the form of preformed retinol. Many seniors take multivitamins that contain high doses of vitamin A to support vision and skin health. However, unlike water-soluble vitamins that you simply pee out if you have too much, vitamin A is fat-soluble. It gets stored in your liver. As we age, our liver's ability to process and clear retinol decreases. Research now shows that chronic, even slightly elevated intake of supplemental vitamin A can actually interfere with vitamin D's ability to protect your bones. It's a cruel irony. You take a multivitamin to stay strong, but the excess vitamin A might be making your bones more brittle and increasing your risk of hip fractures by up to 40% in some populations. And then there is the energy trap, vitamin B12. Now, B12 is essential. It protects your nerves and keeps your brain sharp. But the 2026 data is shining a light on the massive trend of mega-dosing B12. You've seen the shots and the 5,000 mcg burst pills. While B12 is generally safe because it's water-soluble, new clinical reviews suggest that for seniors with certain underlying kidney issues, which are often undiagnosed, these massive spikes in B12 can actually increase the risk of cardiovascular events and all-cause mortality. The science is moving away from megadoses and toward consistent, moderate absorption. So why is this happening now? Why are we just hearing about these dangers? It comes down to what scientists call biological bioavailability. In your 20s and 30s, your body was a master at regulating these levels. If you took too much, your system adjusted. But after 60, those regulatory loops weaken. Your stomach acid levels drop, a condition called hypochlorhydria, which means you can't break down a hard, compressed calcium tablet effectively. Instead of a slow release of nutrients, you get a dump into the system that your organs can't manage. On top of that, many seniors are taking medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or acid reflux. These medications interact with supplements in ways that can be genuinely dangerous. For example, if you are on a common diuretic for blood pressure and you take a high-dose calcium supplement, you are essentially creating a perfect storm for kidney failure. Now, I want to address a very important part of the 2026 research that involves racial and ethnic health disparities. It's not a topic often discussed in wellness videos, but the data is too important to ignore. For instance, research published in 2026 shows that African American seniors are significantly more likely to be diagnosed with vitamin D deficiency, but they also tend to have higher bone mineral density than their white counterparts at the same vitamin levels. When African American seniors are oversupplemented with vitamin D and calcium to meet standard white normative targets, they can experience much higher rates of hypercalcemia, excess calcium in the blood, which leads to heart and kidney issues. Similarly, some studies indicate that Hispanic seniors may have different metabolic pathways for processing fat-soluble vitamins, like vitamin E, putting them at a higher risk of hemorrhagic stroke when taking high-dose supplements. These numbers aren't just trivia, they represent real lives. We are moving toward an era of precision nutrition, where we realize that a 70-year-old black man, a 65-year-old Hispanic woman, and an 80-year-old white man all have vastly different nutritional requirements. The one-size-fits-all pill is a relic of the past. Furthermore, we have to look at the hidden fillers in these supplements. As we age, our gut becomes increasingly sensitive to the additives found in cheap, mass-produced vitamins. In 2026, researchers have pinpointed certain emulsifiers and binders, like titanium dioxide or hydrogenated oils, that are used to keep pills shelf-stable, but actually trigger low-grade chronic inflammation in the senior gut. This inflammation makes it even harder to absorb the actual nutrients the pill is supposed to provide. It's a vicious cycle. You take a pill to get healthy, the pill irritates your gut, and your gut becomes even less capable of absorbing nutrition from your food. This is why the latest geriatric guidelines are moving away from hard tablets and toward powders, or high-quality liposomal liquids that bypass these digestive hurdles. We also need to discuss the timing window. The 2026 research on chronobiology shows that the senior body's clock is more rigid. Taking your fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D or E on an empty stomach isn't just less effective, it can be actively irritating to the liver. Seniors who take these vitamins with their largest meal of the day see a 40% to 60% better absorption rate than those who take them with just coffee in the morning. If you're paying for these supplements, you want them to actually reach your cells, not just create expensive urine or sit in your fat stores causing mischief. So, after hearing all this, the natural question is, okay, what can I actually do? How do I get the nutrients I need without the risk? This is the part of the video that I think matters most. The science of 2026 isn't telling us to stop being healthy, it's telling us to be smarter. First, the food first mandate. One of the most consistent findings in longevity research is that the human body recognizes and processes nutrients from whole foods much better than it does from a chemical isolate in a pill. If you need calcium, your body wants it from sardines, collard greens, almonds, or high-quality yogurt. Why? Because food comes with built-in cofactors. When you eat a bowl of leafy greens, you aren't just getting calcium. You're getting vitamin K, magnesium, and fiber, all of which tell that calcium exactly where to go. They act like a GPS for your nutrients, ensuring they end up in your bones and not your heart. Second, the synergy rule. If your doctor has confirmed a deficiency and you must supplement, you should never take a lonely vitamin. The 2026 protocols emphasize the vitamin D3, vitamin K2, magnesium triad. Vitamin D3 helps you absorb calcium, but vitamin K2 is what activates the proteins that actually glue that calcium into your bones and keep it out of your arteries. Magnesium is the spark plug that makes the whole reaction possible. If you take a high-dose vitamin D or calcium pill without K2 and magnesium, you are basically inviting that calcium to clog your pipes. Third, demand a full panel test. Most standard blood tests only look at the surface. In 2026, we have the technology to look at your functional levels. Ask your doctor for an RBC magnesium test, which looks at the magnesium inside your red blood cells, not just the liquid part of your blood, and a vitamin D25 hydroxy test. Don't start a supplement because a commercial told you it was good for your age. Start it because your specific blood work says you need it. Fourth, be wary of the multivitamin myth. Many seniors take a daily multi as an insurance policy. But most multis use the cheapest, least absorbable forms of nutrients. They use magnesium oxide, which is basically a laxative, instead of magnesium glycinate. They use synthetic vitamin E, DL-alpha tocopherol, which some studies link to increased heart risks, instead of the natural mixed tocopherols found in food. If you are going to supplement, quality is not a luxury, it's a safety requirement. Fifth, the medication audit. This is vital. If you are taking a statin for cholesterol, you are likely being depleted of CoQ10, a vital enzyme for your heart. If you are taking a metformin for blood sugar, you are almost certainly becoming deficient in vitamin B12. Instead of just adding more vitamins, work with a pharmacist or a deprescribing expert to see which medications are causing nutrient theft. Fixing the theft is often better than trying to out-supplement it. Sixth, watch out for social media science. We are currently living in an era where an influencer can tell millions of seniors to take berberine or high-dose resveratrol without any understanding of how those substances interact with common blood thinners or heart meds. In 2026, the cautionary tales are stacking up. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it isn't a potent drug. Treat every supplement with the same respect and the same skepticism as you would a pharmaceutical. Seventh, optimize your gut microbiome. New 2026 data confirms that you are not just what you eat, but what your bacteria eat. If your gut flora is out of balance, you could be eating the most perfect organic diet and still be malnourished. Seniors who incorporate small amounts of fermented foods, like kefir, sauerkraut, or kimchi, actually improve their biological absorption of vitamin B12 and magnesium by nearly 30%. Before you reach for a pill, reach for a fork. Strengthening your internal garden is the most effective way to ensure the nutrients you consume actually make it into your bloodstream. Eighth, monitor your liver enzymes regularly. Because so many vitamins are processed by the liver, any underlying sluggishness in liver function can lead to vitamin toxicity much faster than in a younger person. The 2026 research shows that even common OTC pain relievers can interfere with how your liver handles fat-soluble vitamins. If you're taking vitamins daily, you need to know how your processing plant is performing. A simple liver function test can tell you if your supplement routine is helping you or placing an undue burden on your organs. I want to zoom out for a second because I think this research represents something really important about how we think about the aging body. For a long time, the medical world treated aging as a series of deficits that needed to be filled. You're old, so you must be empty of X, Y, and Z. Here's a pill to fill the hole. But what the latest science is showing us is that the senior body isn't an empty vessel, it's a shifting vessel. It's a body that is becoming more efficient at some things and more sensitive to others. That changes the game. It means that preventing disease in your 60s, 70s, and 80s is about balance, not abundance. It's about precision health. Instead of throwing a calcium bomb at your bones and hoping for the best, we are learning to support the entire biological system. We are learning that a walk in the morning sun, a handful of walnuts, and a good night's sleep often do more for your brain and bone health than a handful of expensive supplements ever could. There are already researchers in 2026 working on smart supplements that only release nutrients when your body's specific biomarkers trigger them. We are entering an era where we might have a liquid supplement tailored specifically to your DNA and your current blood levels. We are at the very beginning of this story, but the direction is unmistakable. The era of mass-marketed senior vitamins is ending, and the era of personalized biological support is beginning. Look, I know this is a lot to take in. It can be frustrating to feel like the goalposts are always moving. First calcium was good, now it's potentially dangerous. First fat was bad, now it's good. But this isn't about the science being wrong. It's about the science getting better. We have better tools now than we had 10 years ago. We can see inside the arteries with higher resolution. We can track the path of a single molecule through the liver. We are getting a higher definition picture of what it means to age well, and that picture is telling us to be careful, to be specific, and to trust our bodies more than we trust a marketing campaign. Remember, the supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar machine. Their job is to sell you health in a bottle. Your job is to recognize that true health is built on the foundation of your daily habits. No pill can replace the power of a varied, nutrient-dense diet and an active lifestyle. If a supplement feels like a shortcut, it's probably leading you toward a red zone you didn't intend to visit. If there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this. You are the expert on your own body. If you start a new supplement and you feel off, if you get heart palpitations, if your digestion changes, if you feel a strange fog in your brain, don't ignore that. Your body is giving you data. That data is more important than any label or any recommendation from a friend. Your health is a dynamic, living conversation between you and your environment. If this video helped you or taught you something new, I'd genuinely appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. It truly helps get this science-backed information to more seniors who might be unknowingly putting their health at risk with the wrong supplements. And don't forget to subscribe. We have a deep dive coming up next week on the top 4 foods that can actually replace your multivitamin, and you won't want to miss that. We'll be talking about how to get everything from zinc to selenium through simple, delicious changes to your daily meals. Drop a comment down below. I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a bad reaction to a vitamin? Did your doctor ever warn you about calcium or vitamin A? Or have you found a specific food that made you feel 10 times better than any pill? I read the comments, and your shared wisdom is what makes this community so powerful. We are all learning together. Take care of your heart. Take care of your bones. Most importantly, take care of your unique self. You've worked hard to this point, and you deserve to enjoy life with a body that feels clean, clear, and strong. I'll see you in the next one.